Hey guys, it's Adriel from StyleAssisted, and today I'm going to go over a really quick video of what style items you should have in your wardrobe for fall. Alright, so depending on where you live in the country, your fall is going to be a little bit different. If you live in California, you're not going to need heavy coats. If you live up in Maine, you will need a heavier, thicker coat. So fall means different things to everyone, but these are staples that everyone should have in their wardrobe going forward with this upcoming fall season, which I'm so excited about, and you guys know that I love fall. It's my favorite. So, first things first, the absolute must that you need to have in your wardrobe is a good pair of dark blue skinnies. Now, if you're not a big fan of skinnies, you can always do bootleg and flare are coming back, but I always say the number one staple in a woman's closet should be a good pair of dark blue denim. Now, with these are the AG Farrah skinnies, and as you can see, they have a little bit of whiskering and a little bit of fading, but if you want a straight dark indigo all the way down, you are more than welcome to do that as well. It elongates the leg and actually makes you look thinner. The lighter the color you go, the wider it makes you look. So if you're going for a slimming effect, get a darker pair of trousers. Trouser jeans also, they basically look like a pair of trousers but are made out of actual denim, are a very, very good choice for you as well. These are a high-waisted skinny. I will link the exact pair below and then link a less expensive option for you. But these are my go-to. I wear them near constant. And I like the fact that I can roll them up. You can also get them cropped at the ankle, but I like to roll depending upon what boots I'm wearing or if I'm wearing flats or something along that nature. But the number one staple, you can dress this up with a blazer, you can dress it down with some white sneakers and a t-shirt, but these are my number one absolute must for every woman in their closet. Next up is another simple item. If you guys know me, you know me well. No one should be surprised by this. This is a striped t-shirt. Yes, I know, super basic. But stripes are considered technically a neutral print, so you can pair these with leopard, you can pair these with florals, you can pair these with basically any other print, and it gives you automatic infusion of style, but it's not something that's out of most people's comfort zone. I try to get every single one of my clients to have both denim and a striped shirt. Now this is from Loft and I've had it maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe 3. Anyway, I prefer a scoop neck because I like the visual interest that it gives me, so I can layer with necklaces or I can wear a scarf over it and I don't feel like I have too much bulk around my neck. I always do short sleeve and long sleeve, but I do like a short sleeve because it gives you the ability to layer comfortably. The more sleeves you have on, so if you have a long sleeve and then you have on a jacket and then you throw on a vest or something over that, you'll start to feel a little claustrophobic, or at least I do. So if you plan on layering but it's not super cold outside, I always go with the short sleeved striped shirt. If it's really cold, long sleeves is the way to go, but this is classic Ask French Women. Stripes never go out of style. You can do bigger stripes, you can do skinnier stripes. It's really easy to find. You can find some at Target, you can find them at J. Crew. I mean, anywhere you go will have a good striped t-shirt. I get something that's cotton, that's washable, that has some stretch to it, but isn't completely stretchy like a workout clothes. I like a little bit of draping, so I like it a little wider, so I'm not a big, huge fan of super skinny stripes, just because I feel like it's more flattering for a little bit of blouse movement and just in general comfort, because nobody's really super comfortable in skin tight stuff anyway. So this should be next up on your list. And as you can tell, I'm sort of building an outfit that goes along with that. Now on the feet, I actually think that you should get a pair of leopard flats. Now these, I actually just pulled the bottom out of one of them. I've had them forever. They're pretty gross, so sorry about that. But calf skin, calf hair, it's going to be huge this fall and winter. The easiest way to style that is either with a clutch or handbag. Smaller clutches tend to be the best option, and you can get dyed calf hair anywhere. I mean, you can find it Forever 21, you can go to Saks and find it, but that's going to be huge for fall. So you can either do a calfskin purse or, my favorite, a loafer, and they don't necessarily have to be real calfskin. They can be fake, obviously, because this is synthetic. And I like leopard because that also is technically considered a neutral when it comes to mixing and matching fabrics and patterns. So this with this is okay. I promise you will end up looking extraordinarily stylish, and a leopard flat is the best way to add a little pizzazz to your outfit without going out of your comfort zone at all. I have leopard heels. I don't wear them as much because those sort of scream crazy cougar lady than they do style diva. So I am a huge advocate of leopard pant flats. They have some with buckles, you can get some with a tiny bit of a heel, but regardless, it's considered a neutral. It's great for your wardrobe, and it just gives you a little bit of kick and interest down at the bottom. You guys know that I love brightly colored flats, but we're talking about must-haves for fall, and leopard looks good on everyone, and the further you have it from your face, the less like cougar lady you're going to appear. So that is always awesome. Next up, I think that you should have jackets and vests. Now, I just picked up this jacket to show you guys. I got it yesterday at Old Navy. And you want a utility jacket, you can get them in khaki, but I actually prefer this olive green. It is a very, very flattering color on every single skin tone. This one, the jacket collar actually folds down a little bit, but it's more of the military style, or it doesn't have full, like, a collar and lapels, and I actually can wear this just with the back popped up, and I love it. It is extremely light. You don't want this to be a really heavy fabric because it's more of a fall fabric than it is a winter. In winter, obviously, you want a thicker fabric, so a heavier coat, and this is not going to cut it for that. This has elastic wrists, which I love on the bottom of the sleeves because I actually like to push up my jacket a little bit if I'm getting a little hot, but I still want the layering. So wear this and then put this over it with the leopard print. I know it seems like a lot, but this is a really, really cute outfit on it. And I actually will probably shoot one of these for the blog so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then when I do that, I will link it below. Now, last step for your necessities for fall, I think that you guys should have a trench. Now, I have a lot of trenches and you have a lot of different options. So I picked my least expensive ones that are all different types. So I have 4 different kinds to show you. And let me grab those because they're sitting on the floor and not on my lap like everything else. And then we'll go through the different benefits of each trench and why you should have one in your wardrobe. One second. Ooh. Okay, on to the crazy trenches. Now, the one I have that is the most typical of what you would think when you see as a trench is this. It is similar and famous for the Burberry trench, basically. And you can get Burberry knockoffs anywhere. I will link several very inexpensive versions for you below because a Burberry trench will run you anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800, and I know most people don't particularly want to spend that on a trench coat. Now, Burberry Brit makes a less expensive version that's still in the $700, $800 range, which is an option, but you can always get things like this. This was Ann Taylor, and this is basically your typical trench that has the belt and is made sort of a, well, it's waterproof, but probably rayon because you know everything's rayon, but it's lined on the inside. You guys want a trench, especially a nicer one like this, you want it to feel a little silky and you want it to be lined on the inside, and I'll explain more to you later why that's so important. But I think this was just the classic trench from Ann Taylor, and I'm sure they still have something, but there's always the flap in the back or on the shoulders, which is all just styling. It doesn't really have a lot of function these days. Sometimes it lets it breathe, but the next option from that is the silk trench. This is something that you would wear if you're wearing like a silky dress, because that, where it's a little more bulky, this is silkier, more elegant. It flows gorgeously, and it's just a very amazing fabric, has the same tie around it. And you'll notice that all of them are obviously within the light khaki color family. I don't get different colored trenches. If I'm going to spend money on a trench, I make sure to get something that is going to last a long time. And colored trenches, super dark or super light, kind of fade in and out of style. So this I just got, I think this was, I'll have to find one and link it below. But I adore it. It basically has the shape of a very similar Burberry trench as well, but it's a silkier material, and this is a fancier trench that you throw on over like a cocktail dress or something of that nature. Now, the most fun in my trench wardrobe, I guess I should say, is this cape. I've had it for years. They finally, oh look, there's Leopard on the inside. They finally started making these, and I've had this for 4 or 5 years, and they just now started having basic knockoffs of this that are under $100, because before I could find a knockoff, but it was like $800. So it's just a trench, belts in the back, but it's a cape. So instead of sleeves, there are, I mean, you know, it's a cape. This is adorable because it gives a little more style infusion for an outfit that is otherwise fairly plain. You could wear this with dresses and skirts, but I just like that it gives me the option of having something different than my typical trench. Now, this one is thicker and heavier, so I would not wear this over a cocktail dress. This one also does not have any sort of collar whatsoever, so I usually end up pairing this with a scarf or with a high-necked, something else that has visual interest, like a blouse that buttons up or has a sailor collar or something around the neck that I want to show off. But for the most part, I usually end up wearing this with some sort of scarf. Now, lastly is the most utilitarian of all the trenches, and this is a basic trench. It looks very similar to the other one I have. This one actually has a detachable hood. It was from the Gap, and this is more of, it's unlined, is a thicker, heavier, not waterproof, more of a, it's something I would wear if I'm going to be running around outside with, for example, my hunter boots on. Like if we went to the pumpkin patch and I was going to be cold, but it wasn't going to be rainy, I would probably opt for something like this because it is heavier and sturdier and isn't as nice as my other two typical trenches, and the cape obviously doesn't cover. This is fairly long. All of them do have a belt, all of them are similarly colored, but something like this is a lot more casual. And this is the type of thing I would wear with a pair of sneakers because it is on the more casual side, where some of the other ones are a little too nice and you want, don't you love it when your video stops recording in the middle? So what I was saying was, I know that most of you do not need 4 or more trenches in your wardrobe. What I would say is think about your lifestyle. What are you in the most? Are you a business professional and do you wear business professional attire all the time? Then I would go for either the silk trench or I would go for the first traditional trench, which I showed you out of all 4. Now, if you're a mom and you stay home most of the time, I would go for the last trench because it's a little bit more casual, machine washable. Actually, I think all of them might be machine washable because you know how I roll. I hate dry cleaning things. And if you want a little style infusion, I would go for the cape version over the casual rugged version that I just showed you. It's all about picking pieces that work well with your wardrobe. Now, you need to always keep in mind when you're buying things, unless you have unlimited resources, which I know some people do, but my husband gets super cranky with me when I buy a ton of stuff. So I have to mentally rationalize, okay, why am I getting this? Although I do have mad game when it comes to rationalizing purchases. Any of you guys have that skill? I can rationalize anything. Ian flat out hates it. But, you know, it is what it is. Regardless, think about your lifestyle. Think about where you spend the majority of your time. Is it at work? Is it at home with your kids? Is it in casual clothes? Is it in business professional? And then build your wardrobe around that. Your wardrobe in size should reflect the ratio of how you spend your lifestyle. So considering the fact that I stay home and style occasionally, but for the most time I'm around my son Alexander, I skew more towards having more casual clothes in my wardrobe for the most part. Now I still have an entire wardrobe downstairs in my beauty room from my professional days because I had to wear suits and professional dresses all day every day. So I still have some of that, but I'm not fooling anyone. I don't like to wear those things now for the most part because I've got a toddler and he screws stuff up. So I skew more towards the casual things that I showed you earlier. Regardless, these are my top picks for fall outfit ideas. You can usually mix and match all of this stuff with other items that are already in your wardrobe, but I will list all of the options that I listed below, and I will give other price-friendly alternatives as well. I hope this has helped you guys. I hope you have a fantastic fall, and I will see you in my next video. If you have any questions, leave them below. Give this video a thumbs up, please, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, love you guys. See ya! Today I'm going to do a very quick, very simple complexion rescue tutorial. You guys have asked about the Bare Minerals complexion rescue, asked what I thought about it, wanted to see a tutorial, so I filmed it for you.